I'm B. Sammy Davis, and this is Some Dumb News. But before we get into the news, let's have some dumb update. Republicans still have not picked a Speaker for the House. Kevin McCarthy, the GOP leader and frontrunner for the position, has lost 11 votes in a row as of this recording. During the 12th vote, 13 GOP holdouts voted for McCarthy, still 5 votes short of a win, but better than any of his previous results. In 1923, the last time the House of Representatives was not able to elect a new speaker, it took 9 votes to resolve the issue. Today, we are on vote number 12. Who knows, maybe by the time I finish editing and publishing this video, McCarthy will have won the election. Maybe I'll come back on Monday to a House that has still not successfully completed its first vote. It should be noted that the longest it has ever taken to elect a House Speaker was the 34th Congress in 1855. That House of Representatives took 2 months to pick a new speaker, a process that took 133 votes. Mainstream media has become increasingly frustrated with the process, and there are great video montages of various talking heads complaining about the situation, but personally, I love the chaos. To me, it would be pretty dope if hardline partisans finally woke up and realized that voting for the same 2 incompetent parties is the problem. But it's more likely that conservatives will somehow blame Democrats for the Republicans' failures. Before we get into the rest of the news, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and rang the bell. It helps this channel grow, and it gives me a warm feeling inside every time I see that subscriber number go up. On to the dumb news! In 2020, the internet learned of the suicide death of independent romance writer Susan Meachin. Meachin? Periodically, Meachin's daughter would post to the author's social media pages encouraging fans to buy her books with discount codes or to donate to suicide prevention organizations. Except Susan Meachin is alive, and for the past 2 years, she has been writing under the pseudonym T.N. Steele. Meachin recently posted to a private Facebook group saying, "I debated on how to do this a million times and still not sure if it's right or not. There's going to be tons of questions and a lot of people leaving the group, I'd guess, but my family did what they thought was best for me and I can't fault them for it. I almost died again at my own hand and they had gone through all that hell again. Returning to the war doesn't mean much, but I am in a good place now, and I am hoping to write again. Let the fun begin." I don't fully know what Susan Meachin is saying in that quote. To me, it sounds like she is suggesting that her family convinced her to fake her suicide. Or maybe they were using suicide as a reason to get her off social media. I don't fully understand. At the time of this recording, Meachin has not spoken publicly about the situation, but author Samantha A Cole has been in touch and posted their conversation. Check out the link in the description if you want to read that conversation in its entirety, but some of the standout lines are these. Cole asks, "What is going on?" Meachin responds, "Nothing. I simply want my life back. My family was in a bad place and did what they thought was best for me." Cole says, "By telling everyone you committed suicide?" Further in that same message, Cole continues, "I was harassed by Dylan Cross, telling people I was one of the bullies who drove you to kill yourself." If I'm honest, I had never heard of Susan Meachin. Meachin? I gotta come up with a consistent way to say that last name. I had never heard of this independent romance author until this story broke, so in one way, I guess her fake suicide worked. She's certainly appeared on my radar. An AI lawyer will take on its first case in February of this year. The AI development company DoNotPay has created a lawyer bot that will not speak directly to the court, but instead will listen to the case and provide responses in the defendant's earpiece. DoNotPay was founded in 2015 with the goal of helping individuals fight large companies. As history has shown us, the American legal system is built to protect the wealthiest in America. So when individuals try to fight a major corporation, they often have to drop their case after the delays and bureaucracy that make fighting in court too expensive. DoNotPay has been building increasingly powerful bots, including a bot used to navigate automated customer support and to help users provide the correct responses to cancel services or appeal errant fees. But now it's ready to try its bot in a court of law. The case itself is a speeding ticket dispute, and if DoNotPay's lawyer bot loses the case, they are prepared to pay the speeding ticket. I don't know the current rates, but when I was a kid, the win rate of people appealing speeding tickets was below 10%. Still, it's a low-stakes case being used to test the bot's ability to intelligently gather data and create responses in real time. Also, in order to run this test, DoNotPay had to find a court where listening through an earpiece was within the rules, which is likely against the rules in most districts. Still, when looking at DoNotPay's retainer fees of $36 per year, the bot lawyer will certainly be a much more affordable option for most people. But I have to get real about bots here. Nearly a decade ago, CGP Grey posted a video called "Humans Need Not Apply," a short 15-minute essay talking about the coming capabilities of AI bots. During that video, he talked about several jobs that could be replaced by bots, including lawyers. While the time frame of development was longer than CGP initially predicted, many of the occupations that he highlighted are still moving towards bot-controlled labor. I get worried about automation because we live in a capitalist society where everything but air costs money. With automation targeting people's careers, more people will lose their ability to make money, and our system will point to them and just call them lazy. On the other hand, it's cool that legal help will get cheaper for regular people, but on the other hand, human lawyers will have an increasingly difficult time finding work. I imagine it would be hard for a lawyer to charge $36 per case, let alone $36 per year. More and more states are adopting a transparent pay law, including California. In these states, your job posting must list the salary range, so job seekers are able to intelligently apply for a job that will actually pay their bills. When Colorado first rolled out this law, you may have witnessed job postings stating that this position is not available to Colorado residents. That was to hide the salary and stay in compliance with Colorado's laws. Since then, more states have adopted that style of law, including the world's 6th largest economy. And companies are responding with comically broad salary ranges. Netflix recently posted a job description for a graphics engineer in the Los Angeles-based Night School studio. And to stay in compliance with California law, they listed the salary as somewhere between $50,000 and $600,000. In the article linked below, several companies are called out for offering overly broad salary ranges, often a difference of $100,000 from minimum to maximum salaries. The purpose of these laws is to ensure that equal work gets equal pay, but with these huge pay gaps, workers are seeing companies display just how little they value certain employees. Some companies argue that the range is to show that they are willing to pay a more experienced candidate more than an entry-level candidate. But I would argue that means the company should post different job listings for what they are actually looking for. Do they want an entry-level candidate they are willing to train? Maybe they should post an entry-level job description with an entry-level salary. Are they looking for a more experienced candidate they are willing to pay more? Maybe they should post a listing for an experienced position with a higher salary. Instead, these companies are announcing that equal work does not earn equal pay, since one job listing is valued at both $50,000 and $600,000. To me, if that is one position, then companies are unable to prove that they are in compliance with the law. But moving on, inflation is finally hitting the rich. This week, Cardi B posted a video on Twitter highlighting the rising price of food. Yes, it is a video, and no, I am not posting it here because I worry about copyright strikes. But in short, Cardi B discusses the rising costs in groceries, specifically calling out lettuce that cost $2 in 2022 and now costs $7. She also points out that people are responding by saying shit like, "Aren't you rich?" But come on, if inflation is making Cardi B nervous about her budget, imagine how bad it's impacting most other Americans who live paycheck to paycheck. In 2022 alone, food prices rose by over 10%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But salaries have not gone up to meet inflation, so people who are living paycheck to paycheck have less actual money to cover the rising costs. Naturally, some people online are upset that Cardi B is bringing attention to the issue since she is richer than most of us, but I commend the rapper. I already liked her music, and now I like that she's speaking up about actual issues affecting actual people. But hey, if you're mad about a rich celebrity talking about inflation, allow me to redirect that rage. Did you know Taylor Swift's cat is worth $97 million? When I read this headline, I thought Taylor Swift had insured the cat for nearly $100 million. But it turns out that's the cat's income. Taylor Swift's cat makes more money in a year from endorsements and social media appearances than I will likely make in my lifetime. But what really kind of makes me mad about this story and the way reporters are, covering it is that they suggest that the cat earned this money. Apparently, Taylor Swift's cat has a merchandise line, despite lacking opposable thumbs. The cat also made a bunch of money by appearing on commercials and music videos. I hate everything about it, and I am enraged that more people will be angry at Cardi B for talking about inflation than they are at Taylor Swift for marketing her pet cat. Let's take a deep breath. On to some better news. The United States has approved of the first ever vaccine for bees. This vaccine will target the foul brood disease, a bacterial infection that weakens colonies by targeting the larvae. This vaccine will introduce an inactive version of the bacteria into the royal jelly fed to the queen. She will then lay eggs, and those larvae will be born with immunity to the bacteria. It's cool. It's better than a millionaire cat. Yay, bees. I'd like to end with a recommendation. Izzy Ramirez wrote the article "Your Stuff is Actually Worse Now," documenting the design choices made in the past decade to make consumer products worse and to encourage you to buy things more frequently. Because companies are hesitant to raise prices on products that consumers have become accustomed to, they will cut costs on the production line, making an inferior product at the same price as something you might have purchased and used regularly a decade ago. But with lower production costs, quality drops, and a product that might have lasted years will now last months before you have to buy a new version of it. I have long complained that things continue to get worse, and for a while I was worried that I had just become some curmudgeonly old man. As it turns out, though, products are getting worse. But it's to avoid consumer rage by raising prices on good versions of the same products. The article is listed last in my sources, and it's a good read for any of you who, like me, have wondered why the new version is worse than the old version. But that's it for Some Dumb News. If you enjoyed our time together, go ahead and hit that like button and maybe share it with your friends. If you hated the video, share it with your enemies. As always, the best way to support this channel is by subscribing and ringing the bell. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let me know your favorite story in the comments. Hey, I'm still Sammy Davis. Thanks for watching.